It's time for From the Short Grass with Trey Schaap, a golf podcast for those who love golf, struggle with golf, and just like to enjoy the outdoors and fellowship with friends, all while chasing a ball around trying to put it in a 4.25-inch diameter hole. From the Short Grass is brought to you by Stevens Incorporated, an independent financial services firm with the freedom to focus on what matters most. Blackman Auctions. For over 80 years, better auctions have always been Blackman Auctions. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels. We partner with you to deliver high-yield results by managing, developing, and investing in top-quality hospitality assets. And now, from the Short Grass, here is your host, Trey Schaap.
Welcome to another edition of From the Short Grass. I am your host, Trey Schaap. Scottie Scheffler wins the Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass over the weekend, shooting 17 under par over the 4 days. With his win, he pockets $4.5 million, the largest prize in a PGA Tour regular season event ever. He also moves back into the number one spot in the world golf rankings. It's the second time this year he has gotten into that number one spot. He and Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods hold something in common now. Scottie joins Tiger and Jack as the only players to hold the Masters and Players Championship titles at the same time. Of course, the Masters coming up the first week of April, and I would think that Scottie Scheffler might be one of the betting favorites at Augusta this year. Coming up on this edition of From the Short Grass, this is a very difficult interview to do. I sit down with Angelique Francis, a senior on the Little Rock women's basketball team, but she loves the game of golf, began playing it at a very young age. But she has a dark past with it as well, one that she is now sharing, and it's a very important subject to talk about. We will do it after the break. But first, I want to tell you about our friends at Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels. bphotels.com is where you find them on the web. If you need a place to stay, make sure you're staying at a Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group property because you know you're going to get top-notch service. We're back after this. Stay with us.
This is Thomas Blackman with Blackman Auctions. The economy is changing slowly but surely. The market is slowing down in a gradual slide. Not an emergency yet, the sky is not falling, but a change is coming. When times are good, auctions make buyers compete to buy at the highest market value. When the economy gets tough, auctions force buyers to make a purchase decision. Either way, auctions get the highest return for a seller and a strong deal for a buyer. With an experienced auction company, it's a simple process. Go to blackmanauctions.com for more information. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
When your travels take you to Bentonville for a meeting with Walmart, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or the Walmart Amp for a concert, make sure you book your stay at one of the top Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group properties. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group manages the DoubleTree Suites, an all-suite hotel with tons of meeting space, and the Hilton Garden Inn, which has been newly remodeled rooms throughout the entire property. The best place to stay in Northwest Arkansas is a Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group property. Visit them on the web at bphotels.com.
Welcome back to this edition of From the Short Grass. I am your host, Trey Schaap. Angelique Francis, a senior captain on this year's Little Rock women's basketball team, had aspirations of playing golf, and she was very good at it at a very young age. She was a rising star in the world of golf, winning approximately 31 tournaments over the course of 7 years, both in her native Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and around the world. But it was also a dark time in her life playing golf, as you are about to find out. On the tee, Angelique Francis.
Angelique, welcome to this edition of From the Short Grass. Thanks for joining me. You've got an interesting story, don't you?
Yes, I did. Thank you for having me.
Well, let's dive into it. When did you first pick up a golf club?
I started when I was 3, and then competed. My guardian was my coach, and then I started competing all over the world when I was 6. The furthest I've gone was England. It was freezing cold, but it was a great experience. Time change was a big deal as well, but it was fun.
So England, where did you play over there?
I don't remember the golf course. I do remember, I think I placed maybe 2nd or 3rd in that tournament. But it was a great experience. We got to see the guards change and go to the castle and everything, so it was awesome.
When you started playing the game, I've looked at some of the pictures of your swing. I mean, it was a very good swing. What do you remember about just learning the game and trying to perfect it?
It took a lot of practice. Golf is a very patient sport. Your swing can change at any time. It doesn't matter how hard you work. You're going to have your off days. Of course, the ball loves to go everywhere else but where you want it to go. But I remember, just like basketball, I remember watching film on a lot of amazing golfers, men and women, trying to see what's the best swing for me. People take it all the way back. I stop at a good. But the thing is, you're also taping yourself. So you do a swing, you go back, you write down that line on that screen and try to get the perfect through and through. So, but the most important was breaking each step down. It goes from the position of your feet to your grip to how far you're going to take it back, 90, 40, whatever the case may be. But I do remember doing a lot of film and working hard every day on trying to perfect that swing for the course.
You won a lot of junior golf tournaments, didn't you?
I did, yes. But it was also a really amazing experience because I got to travel, meet different people, cultures. But that's the best part about it, is that golf can take you literally anywhere.
It can, and it can also teach you some life lessons as well. When you look up to certain players, as you said you did, who were some of those that you were looking at? Who did you watch videos of? I mean, was it Tiger Woods? Was it Jack Nicklaus? Was it Arnold Palmer? Was it Nancy Lopez on the women's side? Was it Laura Davies maybe?
Right. Honestly, all the above. Who I looked up to, of course, was Tiger, Phil. I had the privilege of meeting Phil at the Byron Nelson. And then Cheyenne Woods, I was able to meet her as well. Her college tournaments. And then Lexi Thompson was a big one for me as well. Vijay Singh, that's old, but amazing player. But each person, as I said, it's what feels comfortable for me. I looked at Tiger's swing for long distance. I looked at someone else for short game, So I took a piece of everyone and kind of, once again, see what's best suit for me and for my swing.
What course did you grow up playing in Irving?
It was the Las Colinas. Yeah. This amazing course.
It is.
And in high school, actually, since I won conference all 4 years, I was invited to play with the pros at what is it called? In a scramble. So I got some coaching lessons and was able to meet some players, and I have a picture that I'm hitting in front of Michelle Wee. And her dad and her mom was there as well. So it was pretty cool.
What was your favorite part about the game? Was it the long drives? I can imagine you hit it probably pretty far. Or was it around the green, the short game?
Honestly, it was the drives. It's what the weather is and how you're doing that day. Long distance could be your best friend, or short game could be your best friend that day. But I also enjoyed putting, being able to read the greens. But that's the key about it. You have to walk from every single angle on the green, because that one little hill would mess that ball up. But it was my driver and putter for sure that saved my game.
I remember a game that you guys were getting ready to play at Texas A&M, and Coach Blair and Coach Foley, both really good friends. I mean, probably the best of friends. And Coach Foley has actually overtaken him as most wins in their careers now. You're a big part of that here of late. But I remember him as we were going to practice in their facility, and he said, "Where's the golfer?" Coach Blair knew that you loved to play the game of golf.
Yes, it was pretty cool. I got to shake his hand and meet him. Great guy. So that was pretty cool.
He's a golfer that plays at now he plays there at the Traditions Club in Bryan, Texas, right outside of College Station. I mean, both of those cities are right next to each other, and I know he loves the game. Coach Foley loves the game too. Have you ever gotten a chance to play with Coach?
Not play, but we are planning after the season to go out and hit some balls and get on the course.
Yeah?
Yep.
You looking forward to that? Maybe bet him something?
Oh, of course.
See if you can beat him?
Of course. But haven't been able to practice, so I'll do the driver, he'll do the short game.
Oh, so y'all going to team up.
Yep,
that would be
team
something. Hey, you're a senior. You still have eligibility. You could play for the Little Rock women's team.
Yes, I can. It's still up in the air about the 5th year and what I'm going to do, but that is an option.
Whether it be basketball or golf?
Yep.
I mean,
well, I haven't had the chance to talk to the golf coach, but
we know
option.
people
Yeah,
around
you know
here.
people.
We can get you in touch with Jenna.
Awesome.
And I mean, you could even probably make the team. I mean, here's what's something to think about, Leak, is the fact that, okay, you won the OVC regular season this year, came up a little bit short in the title game. Unfortunately, we'll just say it, the officiating was awful. But you've got a ring for an OVC championship. The golf team's pretty good too.
Yep.
And if you just became a part of that team, you could get a ring for golf as well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? That's especially being able to play or have the option to play 2 different sports. That is pretty cool. So I know when we end our season, golf is going. So that's a transition, hard transition, especially on my body from transferring from basketball to golf. So
how did you end up at Little Rock?
So I got recruited. I believe it was my junior year, and then I signed. But it's funny because I didn't take a visit. This was the first school I went to. Went to the camp. They offered me upstairs, and then an hour later, I told Coach Weed I'm coming. So that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. What sold you on being a Little Rock Trojan?
I think the environment, talking to the girls on the team and how close they are, and what Little Rock has to offer, how the coaching staff is, and it's very much a family environment. So that's what drove me here. Also, it's the closest school from Texas where my family was, so everything else was a flight away. So this was everything I wanted here.
I'm sure you have your golf clubs with you, yeah. And have you been able to play just around at all, any?
Yeah, I've played a few rounds. I go out and practice and still work on my swing, but when I have time, especially after the season, I will. What's
it been like when you get out to get to do that, and what places do you like to go?
The greens in Sherwood. I work there as well in the summer, so I'll go and get some balls and go hit on the range or go on the course. So that's where I go.
Watching professional golf now, who do you like to, if there's someone on TV, who is it that you have to sit down and, okay, that's appointment television, I've got to watch him in that tournament or her in that tournament?
The players that I've named, but Tiger, now that Tiger's back and healthy, we're trying to get healthy. Still watching him, such a legend, so that's who I'm looking at.
Looks
and
like
his son.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like Charlie's going to be pretty good too, doesn't it?
Yep. I'm excited to see him.
When you think back to your time on the golf course, and let's just say this, it's also brought you some of your darkest days in your life as well. Mm-hmm. That had to have been tough to be playing what they call a gentleman's game or a ladies' game, but then to have so much adversity that you faced with the sport of golf.
Yeah, it was tough. My guardian was my coach, as I said, and that was the person that had abused me. And throughout the years, being able to travel and being an African-American female playing golf was a highlight. Nobody knew what was going on behind closed doors. So coming to practice and having a smile on my face or acting like everything is okay and, working hours in and out, trying to perfect this game to go pro at 14, nobody knew what was going on. So when I finally came out with my story, the ones that knew me are kind of like, what? I didn't know that was, going on, happening. I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. But what I did love was the hours and hours that I would put in perfecting my swing, perfecting the things I needed to become pro. So I did enjoy it at the end of the day, and I'm glad that I've learned the game because it's incredible. I get to still play it, and it's crazy because people at 90 can play golf, but people at 90 can't play basketball. So it's an amazing sport, and it teaches you a lot.
What were some of the things that happened behind closed doors that people didn't know about?
I got hit with my golf clubs. I've got a golf ball thrown at me. I have been choked by my golf clubs. I was also homeschooled, so that's how I was able to put hours into golf. One good day is maybe 12 hours. You wake up at 5:30 in the morning, do schoolwork. If you don't get your schoolwork done, I've gotten stabbed. I've gotten my chair broken off and hit with it. I've gotten a belt buckle to my knees to where I couldn't walk. And they told me if I can't hide it, like hide that I'm in pain, that they'll kill me. It's a lot that has happened that nobody knew about. So finally when I came up with my story, even my guardian's partner said, tell the whole truth, or that's not the whole truth, basically. And I've even asked them for help, and I was crying to them and begging them to help me, and they told me to be quiet, I'm being too loud. So it's a blessing to have learned this sport because I can go somewhere with it, but it comes with a lot of darkness. Mm-hmm. But I do my best to keep my head up and keep pushing every day to become the person that I want to be and not allow somebody to live their dream through me.
What is that person that you want to be?
Everything that I have been through, I felt alone. And I felt like I didn't have anyone because I was the only person in the house. And I've gone through 8 suicide attempts, survived them, cutting, burning, relying on things that I shouldn't be relying on, and self-harming. And now I've started an organization called ALF. I started that when I was 15. And that this organization is for mental health, people that have been through similar things that I've been through or worse, and just to allow them to know that you're not alone and you have a purpose in this world. And
what does the ALF stand for?
Angelique Francis organization. And it's basically a home away from a home. So just try to save as many lives as we can. I'm not God. I'm not trying to play God. It's just I understand what that feeling was like, and I would never want anyone else to go through that.
I noticed, and I wasn't the only one that noticed, at the Ohio Valley Conference tournament this year that some opposing teams, cheer squad, came up to you and spoke to you.
Yes, they did.
Have they gone through some of those issues that you've gone through?
They have. I get emails or texts every day communicating and talking to people. Even opposing teams and teammates have contacted me. And we just have conversations and just talk. It's just being the advocate or just even communicating. You never know how far things can go with people. A smile or a handshake or acknowledge that I see you means a lot, and it goes a long way.
If I would have known when we took the trip to Costa Rica that you love the game of golf as much as you do, we should have had you take your golf clubs down there, because the place we stayed, it had a great golf course.
I know. I was told that at the last minute. I was like, dang, I could have gone on the golf course with Coach and you guys, right? So yep. I heard it was it beautiful?
It was.
Yeah. That's incredible.
A couple of views of the Pacific Ocean. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, it was nice. But you had some fun down there. You did some fun things.
Yes, we did. We had a resort and everything. I remember the monkeys in the trees at night and the amazing pool and beach and view, and just being with the team was awesome.
Playing for Coach Foley is not easy.
No.
And with what you went through, how did you manage that when you were here at Little Rock?
I think my freshman year was the hardest year because freshmen coming in, you don't know the goal here, I guess. The things that it takes to accomplish history and to make history. But I had to understand that he was coaching me out of tough love and not in an abusive way. And I had to learn that. And now looking back, I understand what he was trying to teach me. When I was 17, 18 years old, he was that father figure that I did not have. So he just shows it in a coaching stern way, but out of love.
How has Little Rock helped you escape that past life, if you will? It's something, I mean, you can't take it away. Right. It's part of it. Every year is a chapter in the book, as they say, and you can't destroy that chapter. but how has it helped you put that behind you?
I think that it's the girls and it's your teammates and it's the coaching staff. Being able for them to embrace me every day and to show me, like, hey, we're here for you. If you need anything, we got you. And just knowing that they have my back no matter what. And it's incredible how they've understand what I've gone through and tried to help in the best way that they can. So it's an amazing coaching staff and amazing girls that I've had over the years, and it's incredible.
How tough was it to come out with your story?
At first I was scared, but I know that if I had someone who was doing this when I was younger, I wouldn't have done what I've done. I'm excited for this opportunity. I'm excited for what it's doing. This is my purpose, and this is my passion, and I absolutely love this. And I'm not here to make money out of it. I'm not here to become famous. I just want to help as many individuals as I can.
You've been through a lot. The United States Basketball Writers Association puts together a committee, and they look over everything that's happened in women's college basketball from Division I all the way down to the lowest of low levels, which, hey, if you're playing in college, it's not that low.
Right.
I mean, it's better than high school. And they select a player every year, one individual, that will receive the Pat Summitt Award for Courage. And this year, at the Final Four in Dallas, you, Coach Foley, will be there, and you will accept that award as you have been named the recipient of that award. And it goes with your story. I mean, you're still writing your story, so can this be like the wow moment in this story so far for you?
Yeah, it was incredible when I had gotten the news that my family and I had broke down, and they were very proud of me. Once again, it's just a blessing to be here and to be a blessing for others. It was tough to share this, but I'm just so grateful, and especially by an icon and being able to go with my coach and some other staff members it's an incredible experience, and it's once in a lifetime thing, an opportunity. So I'm very blessed for that.
Knowing what Pat Summitt meant to the game of basketball and to now have your name attached to hers, how does that make you feel?
It's very shocking, but this is just this first step in the beginning of something incredible. So I'm so excited and so honored to receive this award, and it's tremendous. It's speechless, honestly.
After you graduate, you're going to put down the clubs. I mean, you've said that it's a game you can play till you're 90, and
right.
I have a feeling that the clubs will never get dust on them, that you're going to be playing as long as you can.
Oh, of course. That's actually the plan right after season. Get on the golf course. Give my body a little bit of rest, but definitely get back on the golf course and see what I got.
Talking about your body getting a little bit of rest, people don't understand. I mean, you went through an off-season surgery last year, and you were not – I mean, you had some complications with it as well throughout the summer. And, I mean, you weren't 100% when the season started this year. And just for you to be able to play a game takes a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. The surgery was tough, especially coming back and then knowing that I had to take another 2 months off. And that's when our girls had started playing and everything. And then I came back right before a conference. So it was tough mentally and physically, but things happen for a reason. So you just got to be a big girl, put your big girl panties on, and get to work.
You know, there's a question I want to ask you.
What's your question?
Can I ask?
Of course.
You have 1 year left of eligibility.
I do.
Because of the COVID situation that you and so many had to fight through. And
right.
I know that was tough. And I know it's tough to put on the shoes and put on the uniform every day for you. But there are a lot of Little Rock fans that would love to see you back in a Trojan uniform next year.
Yeah, I got that question senior night, and then I got the question at the tournament. What's my plan? What am I doing? I do have another year. It's up in the air right now, but I'm figuring it out.
I mean, to get a start on a graduate degree paid for, that would be pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sounds great.
I'm trying to twist your arm and get you to sign right now that you're coming back.
I know. But we got to get through this one. We're not done yet. So
You're right. You're right. The WNIT is this week. Angelique, the favorite golf course that you've ever played? What is it?
It was in Jekyll Island, Georgia. Once again, I forgot the name of the course, but I almost had a hole-in-one.
Really?
Yeah.
You've never had one?
No, the Pro V1X got me. I put a good spin on it, and it was at the edge of the cup and did not fall.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and the little squirrels will come up to you while you're playing and ask for food, and it was a beautiful course. The weather was awesome, and I think I placed second, if I'm not mistaken, in that tournament. So,
man, you're impressive. All right, fantasy foursome. You and 3 other golfers, or non-golfers that just play the game for fun.
Right.
Living or deceased, who would you want to play a round of golf with?
Tiger, of course, Serena Williams, and Phil.
Wow.
Yeah. Serena Williams is a beast at everything she does, so that's exciting. Tiger, of course, is a legend, and Phil as well. Great guy, by the way.
You think you could maybe show him a thing or two?
Oh, of course. No. They'll show me how to keep the ball inbound in play.
Is that the toughest part for you?
Yes. It goes far. The question is what direction.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Leek, thanks so much.
Of course.
I appreciate it. And we're going to be following your story as it continues to unfold.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate you for having me.
This is Thomas Blackman with Blackman Auctions. You all know by now I'm not a good golfer, but my son loves the game and he and I have been playing more. I've got my score down to, I've quit playing a scramble on every hole. I'm using the bunker rake much less than I used to, and a lot of the time I hit my drives past the women's tee box. All of my success in golf can directly be tied to me listening to From the Short Grass. Without it, I would not be the golfer I am today. Trey, you owe me $20 for that. Trey knows golf, I know auctions. Come see us at BlackmanAuctions.com. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
With all the decisions you need to make about what to do in El Dorado, finding a place to stay is an easy one. The Haywood is uniquely positioned to make your stay one to treasure. Located in the historic Union Square district of El Dorado, the Haywood offers luxurious accommodations that feature contemporary, colorful rooms with high-quality bedding, comfortable baths with walk-in showers, and a spacious workspace with stylish plantation shutters that are unique additions to the stunning decor in a non-smoking environment. Make the Haywood your home away from home the next time you visit El Dorado.
Strength is measured not by the number of accounts. Strength is placing value on relationships. It's having the vision and the guts to invest in growth. It's the commitment to responsibly manage your money. At Stevens, we believe that our strengths build success, not only for us, but for our clients. Stevens, member NYSE, SIPC. Welcome back to this edition of From the Short Grass. Blackman Auctions. We could not do From the Short Grass without the support of our sponsors. And one of them, Blackman Auctions. Thomas Blackman, the gang over at Blackman Auctions. They know auctions. Find them on the web at blackmanauctions.com to see their full lineup of upcoming auctions. To learn more about Angelique and to read more about her story, you can visit lrtrojans.com/Francis. And also, if you would like to visit her website, the Angelique Francis ALF organization, you can do that by going online to alf-wearethefuture.com. That's alf-wearethefuture.com for more on the Angelique Francis ALF organization. And if you know someone or you are struggling and have thought about suicide, there is a suicide and crisis lifeline. It is manned 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Just dial 988. That's 988, and you can get the help that you need. That will do it for this edition of From the Short Grass. I want to thank Angelique Francis for coming on and sharing her story. It's an interesting one and one that needs to be told multiple times. And I hope she has a blast at the Final Four this year when she accepts the Pat Summitt Award for Courage. Remember, when you find your ball mark on the green, make sure you fix it and a couple of more. And I hope to see you sometime very soon from the Short Grass.
You've been listening to From the Short Grass, a weekly podcast dedicated to the game of golf. This has been a presentation of the Buzz Radio Network.